Hello, and this is the fourth Excel tutorial on, this one's going to be on creating a line graph in Excel. The first one, if you want to refer to that, on how to format a table. Second one is on how to make a bar graph. Third one was how to calculate a t-test in Excel, and then finally this one is the line graph. I just have some raw data entered in here. The tables are not formatted correctly, just to let you know that. I'm just using them to show you how to make a line graph. Okay, so the first step is similar to making a bar graph, where you're going to do formulas, not formulas, insert, go down to the chart area, pick the one that has line graph, and you're going to pick the first one, and you should come up with this blank rectangle. Right click in it, select data, and you're going to hit add. Series name is the first line, the name of the first line, and this one, the data that I'm using here is plant growth under different colors of light. I have white light, red light, blue light, and green light. So the first one is white light, and for the series values, I did two trials for each light, which is actually not enough for a good experiment. I should have done 5 trials, preferably, but just to show, this is just for demonstration purposes, I just wrote down 2 trials. I took an average of those trials. You would hopefully be taking an average of about 5 or so trials. So for the series values, I'm going to highlight all of my average values over the 10 days for my white light. Okay, you can see the line has appeared here. Hit OK, and I'm going to do that for the other 3 data for the other 3 colors of light. And finally, green light. There we go. Okay, and hit OK. So we have our 4 lines here. I'm going to do some, first thing that's bothering me the most that I need to change right now is this is white light, this is red light, this is blue light, and this is green light. I want to have these colors match up with the name, with their name, so it's less confusing. So I'm going to select this line and go over to Format Data Series. If it doesn't come up, let me put this away. If it's not already up, you can right-click and get to Format Data Series this way. You have to go to this paint bucket. Color is here, and I'm going to choose, since if I do white, it won't show up. So instead, I'm just going to do black for that one. Red light is good. Blue light, I'm going to change to, I like this color blue. And green light, I'm going to pick this green. Okay, so that looks a lot better. Next thing is I want to put in axes titles. I'm also going to need a legend, and I need to change my axes titles. So this is going to be minute. I believe I said over the days. This is actually minute, and I'm going to put in my uncertainty, which is plus or minus half a second. And insert a symbol here, plus or minus half a second. And I need to close my parentheses here. Axes title is number of spinach discs floating. And I will also do plus or minus 1 disc. Okay. Next thing I need to do is add error bars, and it is similar to how we added error bars on the bar graph. Go over to the plus sign, click this gray arrow, more options, custom, specify value, and as you can see right now, these are the error bars it puts in automatically, which is not correct. I want the error bars to correspond with the standard deviations at each minute. So I'm going to, for the positive values, I'm going to select for the white light the standard deviation calculations. It's also the same for the negative values. So hit OK. And as you can see, it's not as pretty, but these standard deviations are accurate. At minute 7, we have minute 6 and 7 have the bigger standard deviations. Actually, it's 2, 6, and 7. It's 0 for 8, 9, and 10. The reason why these standard deviations are kind of weird is because we have so few trials. Okay, so we'll do the same thing. Error bars, more options. Sometimes you might come up with it like this when you go to error bars, more options. It might come up over here. You just have to click this little thing that looks like a bar chart. Custom, specify value, and this one is for the red light. Let's select these. Okay. Oops. I didn't actually erase this. There we go. Blue light. Error bars, more options, custom, specify value. Right. Okay. And finally, the green light, which is just going to be zeros anyway, but I will go ahead and do it. So we need error bars, more options, custom, specify value. Okay. And 0, no error bars there. Okay, that's pretty much it. The only thing we need to do is put in our text box. And since this is different from the other tutorials I did, this is not a continuation of that lettuce seedling growth example. This one would probably have figure 1 as the tables, so the graph would probably be figure 2. And the first line should be describing what's in this graph, which is number of spinach discs floating over a 10-minute period under different colors of light. The second sentence should be about what your source of the error bars are. Error bars are standard deviation. And the third line should be what your sample size was or how many trials you did. And I'm going to say 2 trials were performed for each light color. And that looks good. I'm just going to have this look like it's attached to my graph. Pull it down a little bit and make it line up. Okay. Now, as far as the t-test goes for doing something like an experiment like this where you have a line graph, what I would like to see is so set up a table in the same way. I'm not actually going to do this. You can refer to how to do a t-test in Excel. You can refer to that video, but I'm just going to set it up to show you an example of how to go about a t-test, and then significant or not. So what you could do here is you could look at your data and see which of these lines are somewhat close. They all look like they're pretty much not, they're pretty much, most of these points are significantly different from each other. I would say maybe I would do between the red and blue light at minute 6. Red versus blue light, minute 6. I'm going to wrap that text. Maybe I'll do one between white light and red light at also minute 6. White versus red light, minute 6. I'll just and make all of these wrap. I would also do maybe red light versus blue light at minute 7. Red light versus blue light at minute 4. White light versus red light at minute 2, and so on. So I'm going to pick the ones that are somewhat close and do the t-test between those. So for example, I'll just go ahead and do this one. If you know how to do this, then you can stop the video. So I'm going to do formulas, insert function, t-test, okay. So your array 1, I'm doing red light versus blue light at minute 6. So for t-test, you want to select the raw data. Minute 6, red light, so I'm going to pick both of these. And it actually is not appropriate to do a t-test when you only have 2 trials, but this is just for demonstration purposes. Array 2 is going to be blue light at minute 6. Tails 2, type 3, and okay. So red light versus blue light, even though the error bars are not overlapping, our t-test says that it is not significant because it is our p-value is greater than 0.05. Just make these centered. Okay, so you would continue in the same way, selecting the raw data, not the averages. So when you're graphing, you select the averages. When you're doing a t-test, you select your raw data. Okay, thanks for watching.